I'm Shiva.
I'm Sandy.
And this is
Our Relaxing Hobby. Hello.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk about when we have to move fish, whether it be for an emergency or just changing tanks, or, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. Hurricanes work.
Yeah, hurricanes are usually a good reason to move a
This
fish.
is Florida, but no, a lot of times it's just either moving one to a bigger pond, or somebody's sick,
Or
like
if you have to clean your aquarium.
you have to clean the aquarium properly, or if there's a leak in the big tank, leaks work. There are a lot of different reasons to move fish, but there are different ways that they can be moved safely. We're going to talk about that, and we'll show you some of that this evening. So, if normally, if you want to go ahead and start tell them how we do that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it's going to depend on the size of your fish. The way that you see it mostly, like when you get a fish from a pet store, they're usually young fish. They throw them in a plastic bag with some water in it, and they tell you to float them in the water for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, to equalize the water.
Equalize the
Temperature.
water temperature, because
Right.
you don't want to shock a fish by, throwing it from, one temperature to another.
A lot of people do that. A lot of people will just take a fish and they'll just dump it right into their aquarium, and then they wonder why it dies. 9 times out of 10, it's temperature shock. Basically,
Right.
is an easy way to say it. They can't handle the shock change of the water.
Right, so that's why you usually see plastic bag, you go into an aquarium or something, you see plastic baggies with fish in them floating in the water. That's what they're doing. We're going to show you some of that. But
And then there's Shiva's fish, who are too big for bags in some instances.
Yes.
So there's another way.
Yes, then there are cases where you have fish that are too big. Like, for example, this one right here, if you would mind tossing that camera right there. Let's see, go right. She is over 13 inches, and she's not going to fit in a Ziploc bag.
Yep.
So bring the camera back over here, and
Yep. So
so what we had to do with her, we had to take her out of a tank today. So what we did was we did what we call a water exchange, where we put her in a container, and we slowly change out the water she's in with the water she's going into by slowly mixing the water back and forth until it's
over what, about
stabilized.
15, 20 minutes?
15 or 20 minutes.
Doing it to make sure that it doesn't shock her too much.
Right, and then we just moved her from one container to the other. We've got some footage of that too, in fact, with the same fish. So you'll be able to see how we do that. That works for your larger fish, and also comes in really handy if you're moving a lot of fish all at once. I've done that when I've had to move fish from different ponds instead of having like 18 bags floating.
Which we've done that too.
Yes, we have done that too before we got smart. But now that we've got a big bin that we can carry around, we'll have like several fish all at the same time and be able to change the water out instead of sitting here trying to bag fish all day.
Right.
And then hunting down the bags in the pond afterwards to release said fish.
Which is fun.
Oh yeah, lots of fun. Chasing bags around a pond is fun. You'll be seeing footage of that too.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting, but this is a good way to do it. It's a very safe way.
Right. Now the other problem is nets. Right. And most people just grab a cheap net that has the wide weave, which is fine for some fish. But when you're dealing with fish that have spine or protruding bits,
or really pretty long fins, long tails, you can damage.
They can get caught up real quick. So I always recommend a fine mesh net.
Right.
And usually when you're dealing with the large fish, everybody's thinking, oh, well, I'll just get the stuff that we use for when we go fishing, those nice wide net things that they can get all tangled up in.
Detangling a fishtail is not a fun thing.
Not at all. We've had fish get caught up in those before. So we got smart, and we started using pole skimming nets. They're very fine weave.
Yeah.
We've never had a problem with fish getting caught up in them, and you can get a pole skimming net pretty big.
Right.
Eventually we're going to have to, come up with something for even larger koi, but for right now, let's see, our biggest is about 18, 19 inches, and we're still able to get them with pole skimming net. But you want fine weave, something that the fish can't get things stuck into, because otherwise you're going to have a heck of a time trying to untangle a fish who's struggling, getting more wrapped up, damaging itself, and maybe you.
Yeah.
So.
But, well, you ready to go show them some?
Yes, we will show them how we float fish and how we do water transfers.
All right, that's good.
All right.
All right.